Hello out there. My name is Omoni Gorilla and I train people for leadership roles. I speak on the principle of sustainable leadership. And today I'm here to give you a video summary of one of our leadership masterclass at the Light Up Africa Academy. And I'll be speaking on climate leadership, which is of course the model 6, okay, of the 12 module masterclass that has been ongoing for a while. It's something that many people have been asking, how can they get some of the notes? How can they get some of the slide? And I said to them, I said, don't worry, I'm going to be doing a video summary after every virtual session. And so this is me today doing the virtual session, or rather doing the video summary of the last virtual session, model 6, climate leadership. All right. So today, I'm going to be speaking around the subtitle Climate Action and Environment Stewardship. All right. So I would like to begin, first of all, by the way, I'm a Yoruba man, and you can see my heart simply speaks to that. It simply explains, how cultural I can be sometime, in my outfit, and how traditional rather I can be sometime, in my outfit, so please just I hope you enjoy what you see, all right, and enjoy the class as well. So the key thoughts I want us to begin with is I want us to take understand this, that stewardship of the earth is both a divine mandate and a leadership responsibility. I'm reading this from my note, and I believe, or I think, is a point you like to put down as well. Stewardship of the earth is both a divine mandate and leadership responsibility. Climate innovation requires responsibility, collaboration, and system thinking. So, a leadership insight I would like us to take home is this: great leaders do not only build profitable systems, all right, they build sustainable systems that protect people, number one, that protect communities, number two, and the future generation, all right. So that's the whole idea of climate leadership, okay, to protect the people, to protect communities, and to protect the future generation, in whatever we are building. And I mean, for us at Light Up Africa Academy, we are all about sustainable leadership. All right. So our key message is to raise sustainable leaders, is to raise light bearers, people who understand sustainability and how to build something sustainably rather. So my slide 2 talks about understanding SDG 13. Of course, we all know what the Sustainable Development Goal 13, and 13 of the Sustainable Development Goals speaks on, is focusing on taking urgent action to combat climate change and its impact. I mean, so major climate change I would like us to take note is, number one, we have the rising temperature, too much the intensity of sunlight on humanity. We also have flooding and erosion in some, outskirts of some rural areas. We also have deforestation, which is, very common in Africa. We also have pollution, there's food insecurity, there's desertification, and there's also poor waste management. These are some of the major climate change challenges, and I like us to take that, that down as some, point, okay, relevant point. Why climate leadership matters in Africa? All right. Number one, Africa is highly vulnerable to climate shocks. Number two, young people will inherit the consequences of today's environmental decisions. Okay. And number three, climate innovation can create jobs, energy solutions, and agricultural transformation. I'm reading this from my note because I don't want to miss any point that we, touched on at the last virtual masterclass. All right, so that's why I'm reading it from my notes, so you can also benefit from some of the very, important points. So, my slide 3 talks about circular economy thinking. All right, so as a climate leader, you must have a circular economy thinking. And what does it mean to have a circular economy thinking? Very simple. You must think reuse, or rather, you must think reduce, reuse, and recycle. I repeat, thinking circular economy simply means thinking in the direction of you reduce, you reuse, and you recycle. So what are you reducing? Let me explain that. Reduce in terms of minimize waste generation, Number one, consume resources responsibly. And number two, avoid unnecessary plastic use. That's reduce. And reuse also speaks or explains, is explained in this manner. Reuse in this context simply means extend the lifespan of materials and products. Number two, encourage repair culture. Number three, promote sharing and redistribution system. Recycle here, which is the third part, is it simply talks about convert waste into reusable material. Number three, support recycling initiative and green enterprises. Number three, encourage community sanitation program. So the circular economy here simply, is giving us enlightenment on how we should focus more on, how we manage our waste and how we use our product, how we use plastic, how we reuse them, and how we recycle them. We need to have it at the back of our mind that everything that exists today can be reused. Everything that exists today can be recycled. All right. Not everything is waste. Even waste in itself generates energy. If it goes through, is allowed to go through a process, it generates energy. So nothing is totally, completely useless. But we need to have that thinking of reduction of our waste, minimizing our waste generation and all of that. We need to also start thinking about how to reuse some of these containers, and some of the things we think are not immediately useful anymore. We need to also start thinking about recycling them, thinking about using them for other, beneficial purposes. All right. So that's what circular economy thinking is all about. So the leadership principle I want to take home from this is basically waste is often a sign of poor system design. Yes, anywhere you see that there's too much of waste, and the people are not thinking of how to reuse or recycle their waste, it simply means they are suffering from what you call poor system design. I mean, Nigeria and Africa is one example of a system that is strongly battling this idea. And of course, that's why we are having this masterclass. Sustainable leaders think in cycles, not shortcuts. Think in cycles, not shortcuts. I want us to look at some of the scriptures here that would allow us to understand it from a more biblical perspective. I want us to look at Genesis chapter 2, verse 15, and it talks about stewarding the earth. You might want to take some time to read that and study. And another scripture I want us to look at is Psalm 24, verse 1. It talks about the earth belongs to the Lord. And like my Yoruba people will say, tí Olúwa nílẹ̀ àti ẹ̀kún rẹ̀. So you might want to sit down at your quiet time to study some of these scriptures. So I want us to look at climate leadership competencies. As a climate leader, you want to be a climate leader. What are the competencies that you must develop? Number one, you must be able to think. You must be able to have a system thinking skill. You must be able to think systemic, understanding how environmental, economic, and social system interact. All right, so that's one of the competencies you must have as a climate leader. You must be a system thinker. Number two, you must have innovation mindset. What does that mean? Creating practical solutions for sustainability challenges. As a climate leader, you must have the competence to innovate, to have an innovative mindset. You must be able to innovate, in your thinking. Number three is community mobilization, which means inspiring collective environmental action. You must be able to organize your community towards, environmental action and creating solution to some of the environmental and climate challenges. Number four, ethical responsibility, making decisions that protect future generation. I mean, if you protect the world today, you're protecting the decisions of the next generation. You are helping the next generation make better decisions because you have contributed by creating a system that preserves the earth much better. You have created a circular economy that allows the future generation, further develop what you have created. So that's it. Basically, number five, long-term vision. Thinking beyond immediate profit or convenience is one of the competency of a climate leader. So that's just basically what that is. So that's that. I want to take home this leadership insight. Climate challenges are also economic opportunity for visionary leaders. Any leader that is visionary in his thinking knows that challenge, some of the problem and challenges that we have faced today are also economic opportunities. It allows you, to make money. I mean, waste management today is a big income generator for most, community and most nations that understand how waste can be, transferred to wealth. There are processes to how these things can be done. And so you must understand that some of these challenges are economic opportunity for you as a visionary leader. All right, so my seventh slide here talks about community action framework. Okay, I want to skip that. I'll drop that as a note on our platform, so you want to go through that. Because of time, I'd just like to jump to my next slide um, that talks about some of the challenges. Yeah, start one climate action initiative within your school, church, organization, or community this quarter. This is me challenging you. This is me charging you to start one climate action initiative. I mean, based on all I have said, based on all that you have listened to, start one climate action initiative today in your school, in your church, or your organization, and make the world a better place for all to live in. All right. So my closing thought for you all is that you need to understand that climate leadership is legacy leadership. Climate leadership is legacy leadership. As a climate leader, you are building legacies. That's basically what that means. The decision we make today will determine the world future generation inherits. It will determine the world the future generation inherits. I hope this informs your decision better, as you go ahead and make some decisions in your organization, in your community, in your church, in your society, wherever you are in any part of the world. I hope this particular, model informs you better on how to take decisions. All right. So this is still me, Omoni Gorilla, and please, watch our channel. You might want to go to Facebook to follow our channel, which is a Light Up Africa on WhatsApp, not Facebook, on WhatsApp. You may want to look for our channel on WhatsApp. Basically search for Light Up Africa, so you can get some of the updates and get informed on our next line of action. Hope you enjoyed this masterclass. Hope you enjoyed this particular session. Do have a wonderful time. All right, cheers, bye now.